I'm out here at the lake, and if I sound like I'm short of breath, I am. I've been hiking around a little bit, but I wanted to do today's video out here. Just a change of scenery, and it just feels really good out here, and I feel like, the spirit of inspiration is definitely out here with me, and then in the forest, the trees by the lake. So I didn't want to waste this time or energy. And I'm a country girl. Like I like being outside. It gets sweaty, it get hot, but I'm a warm nature person anyway. So I love being out here. But I've been really thinking about the importance of being yourself, being true to yourself. And I don't really mean in the sense of, do whatever you want to do because you want to do it. That's included in it, but that's not the only thing or the only reason why I believe it's so important to be true to yourself. Along with that, I think you should definitely get in tune with your intuition and follow that, in all walks of life. Walk your walk, talk your talk, do what you do, but follow your intuition. Like, even in the small things, like if you're feeling like you should go step outside for a few minutes, go step outside. More often than not, it's not going to be some, go outside and sit still for an hour. If you feel called to do that, by all means. But most of the time for me, it's not anything that, serious. A lot of times, you just go sit outside, enjoy nature, listen to the wind, listen to the birds, just be outside, and it can be cleansing for your mind. But you can also get, a lot of signs and inspiration when you not just go outside, but when you follow your intuition, when you're feeling called to go to a different, area than you usually go to, which is what happened to me the other day. I was really upset about a lot of stuff. It was just like a lot of things that weren't really exactly the way I wanted it to be, not exactly where I want to be in my life. And I just felt this anger at, not being where I wanted to be in my life. And on top of that, my upstairs neighbors were making noise as usual. So I was like, let me get out the house before, I do something I regret. So I got out the house and I went to the park that I usually go to, but it was Sunday, and I kind of figured it would be a lot of people out there just doing whatever. And of course there were a lot of people out there playing their music out loud, and I just needed peace and quiet so that I could calm down. And so I got led to, a different park that's part of the same lake. This is a really big lake that I go to. It's a smaller, I don't know if it's really small. This is my second time out here. I haven't walked around the whole thing, but it's another side of the lake that I had not gone to. And so that's one example of, listening to your intuition. And even listening to my intuition in the moment where I was angry, I was upset, I was mad, I was pissed. And some told me just get out the house, and I did. And I'm glad I did, because like I said, I came to this different part, ended up coming to this different part because the one I usually go to was packed with people. I would not have discovered this, It's kind of like the road less traveled. I'm pretty sure 80% of the people that know about the other part don't know about this one, because I didn't know about this one. But not only listen to your intuition to, discover new things or get new inspiration from doing so, but I truly believe that when people are themselves and they, do what it is that they just naturally feel to do on a regular basis, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. It's a way that we as human beings and spiritual beings communicate with each other when we're not verbally communicating. So what I mean by this is, when we're not verbally communicating and we can see what other people are doing, we can see what other people, how other people are leading or what path they're following. We see that, and in those things, we can see something that might inspire us to either follow that same path or, follow a similar path, or it just speaks to you in a way that it probably only speaks to you. So, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I went outside just for a few moments. I was watching a movie and it was 2 hours long. I just wanted to take a break, so I just stepped outside. I was just sitting there enjoying nature, and of course it probably physically wasn't out of nowhere, but it just seemed like out of nowhere I saw a red heart balloon in the sky. And of course somebody probably just lost their balloon, but to me it was like, oh my God. And I'm a romantic. I'm like a cheesy person, and I take pride in that. So when I saw it, I was like, what am I seeing right now? A red heart in the sky, like a red heart balloon in the sky. And it just made me so happy to see it. It was like, spirit being a little romantic towards me. It just made me happy. But later on that day, I went to work, and like on our POS system, we have a thing where you can save a sale. Like, say somebody comes in and, they forgot their ID or they forgot their wallet. We can save the sale for them so we won't have to ring it up again. And we can label it as anything, guy with blue shirt, lady with pink hair, whatever. But somebody labeled one of these saved sales with just a red heart emoji. And it caught my eye, of course, and I was like, okay, that's the second time I've seen a red heart today. And usually for me, I know something's like a confirmation or something that, is really meant for me to see if I see it 3 times. And so I didn't necessarily see a red heart 3 times yesterday. I saw it twice for sure. But later on last night, I was watching some videos and just on my phone, and just the topic of love kept coming up in a lot of the videos that I was watching. And so that was like me seeing it for the 3rd time in my spiritual eye. So I was like, okay, I must be about to fall in love. But no, in all seriousness, that's like my example of, that person that labeled that saved sale with a red heart, they could have decided to not do that, but they did. And that was definitely a way of not necessarily that person or that person's spirit communicating with me or my spirit. I do believe that it was just spirit in general working through them so that it could get a sign to me. And that's what I mean by us communicating with each other when we're not actually verbally communicating with each other. So, of course, I believe, it's important to be yourself, because it taps into the inner power that you have, that only you have, as your spirit, as your soul, as your intellect or whatever. By all means, I do believe that, being yourself is important for that part, walk your walk, talk your talk. But I also believe that in the moments where we are being ourselves and being, authentic, that's a way that just our spirit, as one, communicates within itself. So I hope that this gives you another kind of like angle or viewpoint as to why it is important, absolutely is important for you to be yourself, because only you can be you. Nobody else can be you. I also wanted to show y'all this. I went out to a little section of the lake here in the new parts that I found. And it's like a little mini beach or whatever, and just all these ducks out here, and they're like napping, and I think it's so like incredible and amazing how they're made to be. They're like napping on themselves. They're not napping all over each other. They're literally, I don't know, I guess they curve the net back and sleep. And then also this sand out here is just glittering gold. It's glittering gold. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely in real life. Like I can see the sparkles in the water. And it was such my vibe because I love all these sparkly things. But yeah, thanks for watching.